Okay, now the interesting thing about today's session is this. A lot of times people think that as much as I'm the face to all that I do, people think that I am the one that prepares the content, I do everything and all of that. No, I have a team that works behind me, and like I always try to make people understand, anything that is worth doing at all is worth doing very well. So today I'm going to be introducing you to my team members who sometimes I like to call them lieutenants, so that at the end of the day you can all have an idea of what it takes to run a successful practice. I'm going to tell you one thing for real. You can't do everything on your own. Let's be honest. There is so much you can do when it comes to content creation, when it comes to managing everything online and all of that. At some point in time, you will get tired. You will lose inspiration. And you see, you should be able to have a team with proper delegation of powers. Delegation of powers in the sense that you have someone that does this, you have someone that does this, you have someone that does that. So at the end of the day, you being the head would position yourself for execution. So what I've been able to do over the past few years has been to shed off weight on a lot of things. Now, the first speaker we'll be having, who will be coming in at 12:30. Once it's 12:25, Loretta, once Mayor Cohen is in, please just let me know so that I can do the proper introductions and talk about who he is. So
Okay, sir.
yeah, thank you so much. So you need to first of all understand one thing, and I say this all the time. You see, you need to spend money to make money. That's the honest truth. If you're not ready to spend money to make money, there's really so much you can get. And I think last time we had a lecture, I used the example of a free app to a paid app. And you always have to ask yourself this question: what's the ultimate game plan? Where are you going to? If you're going to make 1 million naira, you have a million. You can make a million naira with a million clients. You can make a million naira with just four clients. That's 250, 250, 250, 250. You can make a million naira with two clients, which is 500, 500. Or you can even make a million naira with one client, which is 1 million naira. But at any level that you are in, you need the expertise to be able to target the kind of audience you need. Now, the beauty about, and Dario is going to be talking about ODR, ADR. Now, one thing COVID has been able to do to everyone is that it has forced us to take. No, I'm recording them, Loretta. Yeah, I'm taking it on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So one thing, what's it called? Um, COVID has been able to do to us is that it has fast tracked a lot of things. Now, try and imagine a scenario where before COVID came around, they told the companies started proposing working from home, having meetings online, and all of that. There's going to be a pushback. People would be like, why do I need to work from home? Why do I need to do X, Y, Z, and all that? But when COVID struck, we all just found out that look, we don't have any choice. We all have to do this. And interestingly enough, if I tell you this, you might probably not believe. My team members are scattered all around the world. I have a diary here. Diary is in Netherlands. Loretta is in Kaduna. Janet, that's my executive assistant. Janet is in Ibadan. Miyoko that manages my website is in Ibadan. Bolagun is in Ibadan. And guess what? We all work virtually. That's the thing. So when people talk about okay, fine, the idea of wanting to have so most if you look at where I work from my study at home, 95% of the meetings I have them virtually. We have Zoom and all of that. And you see, let's be honest, the average client most times they don't come to your office. If they can't meet you virtually, you always have to go and meet them. So when you come up with excuses as to why you can't start, you find that 99% of the excuses you have are up here. I remember when I started off with nothing. I started off on my dining table in my house, but I had an idea of where I wanted to go to. Even when I could get an office and COVID struck, I asked myself this question. Okay, I'm going to get an office. I'm going to start paying overhead costs. I'm going to start doing all of this and everything. But at the end of the day, how many people actually come to the office? And if you're really going to go into mediation, you need to understand that ADR is gradually evolving into ODR. And before the next speaker comes, Nan Chang, you came to mind when I was mentally thinking about this. You see, I don't want you to see Cardinal as the only place in which you feel you can operate mediation from. I'm here in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a mediator to the United Nations. I'm a mediator to what's it called? I teach. I belong to 3 or 4 international organizations. Sometimes it's interesting. I might have a training here in Lagos for maybe 10 to like about 12. I jump into another training in Switzerland from 1 to 2:30. I have another training in the UK from 2 to 4, all from the comfort of my home. So you can also do that too. If quote and unquote you feel okay, fine, the level of development where mediation is concerned has not gotten to where it has to be in Cardinal. Why Cardinal alone? Why not every other place around the world? So you see, most times what I think I've noticed a lot of people have is what I'll call a creativity problem. Now I'm going to break some tables today. So today I won't be doing most of the talking. My team members will be. So what they would all be doing is this: they will be telling you what they do back end, so I can have an idea of what it takes. So for some of you, if you feel you can get someone to combine, it's better, but at least have an idea of what it takes. But before you do that, you need to first of all ask yourself this question: what is the vision? What is the focus? Where am I going to? What is my why? Because you see, the truth of the matter there is when you don't have a focus and you don't have a vision, people can align. Because it's when you have a focus and a vision that when people come on board and they see that their visions don't align with yours, then they take a walk. Now, each and every team member of mine, they know what I want. They know what the focus is. They know what the end game is. And they know I'm extremely unapologetic about it. Now, each and every team member of mine, they aside from what they do, they are like a strength to my weaknesses. I have it. By the time they all start talking, I'm going to start telling 1 or 2 things about them, and then you'll be like, "Wow!" And that's why most times when people say, "Mr. Lade, I want to be like you," I look at them and I smile. I am fundamentally flawed. The only difference between myself and a lot of people is I know myself. I know myself way more than every other person. I know what my strengths are. I know what my weaknesses are. What my strengths are, I accentuate. What my weaknesses are, I delegate. That way I don't have to stress myself. I'll take that again. What my strengths are, I accentuate. What my weaknesses are, I delegate. So Miyokun is Miyokun has just joined us. So great. So before Miyokun comes on board to speak, I'll give you a background about Miyokun, still within the framework of you having a vision and all of that. I had someone make my website, but I wasn't too impressed with the website that was made and the customer service. And then I think I saw Kadri's. There was a website I saw that was being championed by Mrs. Fumi Roberts. And I reached out to Mrs. Fumi Roberts. I was like, "Ma, please, Ma, can you please introduce me to who made your website?" Now, for those of you in the mediation industry, Mrs. Fumi Roberts happens to be one of the big names there. And if there's one thing you can't take away from Mrs. Fumi Roberts, she pays attention to details. So for the fact that for the fact that Mrs. Fumi Roberts could actually recommend someone to me and say that Fala, he's very good. That's piqued my interest, and I started speaking to Miyokun. So Miyokun basically handles our website. He manages our, apart from even managing our website, he also helps us with technology. Of course, we have a guy that helps us with technology from the inside, but Miyokun helps us with technology from the outside. He brings a lot of things into play. He's going to be talking about, apart from that again, he's going to be talking about how you can also use Google and a lot of things to drive traffic. So, ladies and gentlemen, so on a lighter note, you know how it is like when you want to have concerts and you have like a Wizkid who, after singing like I've just done now, I've just assumed I've sang a song now, then he will now tell you now that he wants to bring other artists on board and everything. So that's what I'm also trying to do right now. So I'm bringing Mayokun on board. So Mayokun, you have 30 minutes to two things actually. Let's have your paper and kindly tell them what you do for Fortefa. So we're going to take you from 12:30 till maybe 12 till 12:50. Then we'll now take 10 minutes for questions and the bonanza that you have for us, now, like you always do. So if there's one thing at all, I don't take this opportunity for granted because I know you're a very busy person. So, Mr. Mayokun, over to you. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so I'll need to share my screen briefly so that I won't take a lot of time. I won't say
Okay.
so much about myself, but during the presentation, you get to know me. We've been Eduli Consulting, my company, has been providing service for businesses in the legal space for a while. And we've done so much with a number of legal firms and legal organizations. So let me leave that out of it and really get to what we want to do today. And I'll make it very practical because I want you to be able to at least be able to try out something from those things I'll be mentioning today. So my topic is simple. The chat just came in. I want to be sure if the chat is for me. Oh,
You're
somebody
looking
said,
pressure.
somebody said you're looking pressure. Thank you. Okay, now, yeah. So we're looking at creating a digital footprint for your law practice or law firm and law firm. Now, basically, I'll be shuttling through to. I want you to see a lot so that these things make a lot of sense to us. So I'll need you to look at my screen. So I'll be moving from screen to my web and all of that. So basically, what is the digital footprint? When you see the logo of Coca-Cola, you really don't need anybody to tell you what they do. You just know that that's what they do. And the online has brought a new mix into marketing and into branding. So for legal profession, I would look at it from the branding point of view, not the marketing. You can market yourself like we all other do. Mr. Fola can say, I'm the best lawyer in Lagos. My service is 20 naira per case. It's against the ethic of the practice. So, but regardless, everybody can brand. So now I'm going to start with what do people search for? So I'm going to go to my, let me stop this presentation and go to I made a search. So you could also do that on your phone or your device. I search mediation lawyer in Lekki. Now, this is what customers or people would do a lot of time, or prospective customers or prospective clients would do, or somebody that needs a mediator at any point in time. So what happened is you see a bunch of websites loading, and you now see Google has this what we call this map thing. And okay, good. Fortefa Mediation Academy is even listed first before Fortefa Mediation. The academy is listed before the firm. That's surprising. Then comes in these other guys and all of that. So What we're looking at is how do you position yourself in your kind of practice. Let me just do in Ikeja, mediation lawyer in Ikeja. So you're going to see a bunch of things coming up, and you see some law firm coming up in Ikeja. But with what I'm seeing, most the lawyers in Ikeja have not done so much to position themselves for them to be listed here. So we'll be looking at what does it take to position yourself. So I'll be looking at my search results. So if I search for myself as a person, because now the way the digital space work is there's no miracle there, there's no magic. It's what you give internet over time. Internet will keep presenting to people about you. So if I do something like Folalade, if I do Folalade, now there's a big contender for that name Folalade. There's an Isaac Folalade that is already on Wikipedia. So that would be listed first before it will list Folalade, who is a mediator. Now, if Mr. Fala wants to write over this person's profile to be listed first, when this name, he needs to get somebody to write about him on Wikipedia. But basically, you notice that for every name you search, your profile on LinkedIn usually comes first, because the way Google rates social media, LinkedIn is rated above all the other ones. So then another thing one can do, because for me, what I did for myself was I want to determine what people see when they search for my name. Now, what does that mean? So if you look at this, if you search anywhere in the world, you search Odushote Mayokun, you see what I do. Now, this particular part, this particular part didn't show for Mr. Fola. I'm going to tell you how to get this done. So this comes
Sorry,
directly.
Mayokon, I don't mean
Yeah.
to be proud. You see that, go back to that Folalade and put the word mediator in front. Just no, just go. See, so that's the first thing.
Now
So
your
they can
LinkedIn
like,
profile is coming first.
so that they can know that we have different Folalade. So you know me, so that they can see.
No, what I'm saying is you can actually still have the Folala Day on top for you. What we need to do is somebody post your profile on Wikipedia. Then it
Okay,
can contend with the other Isaac Folala Day.
okay, I get you now.
Then there's another thing we could do. I'm going to show you how to do that now.
So please continue. Never
Now,
mind.
now you see, this that you're seeing is what I want people to see about me. Okay, so you notice after this profile, now you see this aggregated all my profile, my contact name, my email, my Facebook, my Instagram, and all of that. So to simply do that, I told you I'm going to give out some freebies today that you can just start on your phone. If you, okay, let me join this meeting from my phone, and I'm going to show you something very quickly. So I'll mute myself on this and stop sharing on this so that you could see what I want to talk about, what everybody can do right away. And okay, I'm going to mute myself here. Oh, I need to be allowed in.
Done.
Thank you.
You're on mute. You can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
No, yes, we can hear you now. But from another device.
Okay, okay, great. I'm going to share my screen here. So if you go to your Google Chrome and you search your name, so like I would do, search my name, we'll do short Mayokun. Now, when it comes up, which is going to happen to oh, it has not yet updated on the. Let me stop sharing because you can't see what I'm sharing. I'm going to stop sharing and share again. Okay. Can you see my screen? I doubt it.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
Now we can.
Okay, but it's lagging. Oh, extremely lagging because, okay, great. Now, you notice there's an edit up there. You
Yes,
saw edit.
yes. Yes, we can.
Now, if you equally search for your name on Google, you will see that edit. Now, I already preloaded mine with all details about me. So when you see the edit and you click on it, you can now fill in all of those information that you want people to see about you. Do you get that? Do we get that?
Okay, yeah. What I can
No, I haven't seen.
Okay, what I can see is get started. Create a public profile. Is that what you mean?
Yes, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see get started.
And then then create a public profile. So
Yeah.
mhm. So what I did, guys, was I went to Google search. I just wrote Folalade. When I did, then Google gave me an option asking me what I wanted to create a profile. And I clicked on it. It now linked it to my Gmail account, and I have it right now here. So that's what I'm about to do right now. I don't know whether that position is correct or
Yeah, very correct. Very
okay.
correct. So that's what, so I'm going to leave the meeting from my phone and get back to the web. So that's what
Interesting.
Okay, great. So what happened is, I want what people are saying about me online. I'm the one creating it myself. I want people to know me for a particular. If I don't create anything about myself online, nobody is going to know or see or know anything about me. Now, and you notice whatever you search, anybody's name, what will come up will be after that will be LinkedIn. So what it means is your LinkedIn ordinarily has search engine optimization capability that for somebody that is providing professional service, your LinkedIn page, your LinkedIn contact is the most important. And that takes me to the next thing I'm going to talk about. I've talked about my search results. Then I'm going to talk about me and LinkedIn. Now, I just want to talk about key things that you can start doing now to really get into creating a blueprint for yourself. Now, this is a legal profession now. I've been more Olaiwola. When she started her digital journey as a lawyer, I trained her personally one-on-one. That was the time I was still doing one-on-one training. So she's doing fine now. She has this network, digital lawyers network, and all of that. Now I'm going to use a page as an example. Those things she posts about. Now she's a legal professional. She knows she can't do advert like every other business would do, but she wants to be an authority in her field because now what really brings the market side of things or the client generation side of things from the online is people want to know if you're really an authority in that area. So if, for instance, if Mr. Fowler consistently on his LinkedIn posts about mediation and all of that, that becomes attributed to him. The way the search engine works is it looks at what you do over time and it makes it part of your let me call it character or profile online. Now you see something like she's posting, she did this post. This is like 2 days ago, and she does her post like consistently. This is 4 days ago. This is also 4 days ago. It's just sometimes about telling stories about what happened during the day, and he ends it with a reason why you should hire a lawyer when you have issues like that. and all of that. And for a lot of legal practices, a lot of your clients will be professionals or people that need, but most people that will need your service will be organization companies that want to check track records and look at what you've done over time. And usually social media is when I constantly am able to talk about something, people are able to trust me with that thing, and the search engine ascribe the authority of that topic to you over time. This does not happen in a day or in 1 year posting. So for instance, for the next, let's say for the next 3 years, somebody consistently talk about mediation in a particular location. Those things are indexed by Google search engine, and the authority of that subject would be ascribed to the person because the person has a lot of posts about it. So for instance, let's say Fortefa keep posting about mediation like every day, and they look at, and over time, Google index the content from Fortefa, and they look at it over the years. They will just see that, and they look at, okay, there's this subject mediation, this man has, they've talked about it like 2,000 times. And the next person that talked about it, that only spoken about it 500 times. When there's a search on that topic, Fortefa website will come up first. So another thing I'm going to also mention about your profile on LinkedIn. Now, there's a normal way everybody write profile and all of that. So I'm going to use myself as an example. And because I love to tell stories and I want people to buy from me. And the easiest way, there's somebody in the waiting room. Okay, so I love to tell stories. So this is what I wrote about myself. I didn't write the normal thing everybody writes. So I wrote something like software development project manager by day, and business mentor by afternoon, and online course creator by night. I just updated this. And the reason why I did this update is I want to start attracting people that want to take their knowledge online, people that are creating online course. And my own focus when I started is I want from those people, I want to make about $1,000 from them. So for me to do that, I'm rewriting my LinkedIn profile to be able to fit in. And if you look at it, my featured post talked about my experience. I have over 14,000 students on Udemy learning different skills from me. And I've succeeded, at least in a little way. There are people that have 1 million students. But I want to start helping other people to create such a thing. And this is how every of my posts on LinkedIn as from now will be focused on that area until Google is able to index me as an authority when it comes to online course creation. So the same thing applies to any profession or any professional. LinkedIn is very important for you, and LinkedIn is key. So talking about my business website, I hope I'm not too fast. Okay, great. So I'm going to go to another slide where I'm going to talk about the business website side of things and how important it is. And a lot of time people feel when I just create websites and the website, just because it's a website, I should just have people visiting. It doesn't really work that way because the online space is a market, and in a market, there's competition. The space is so big that we have over 200 million people in Nigeria on Facebook, 39 million people. Now we can talk about Twitter. The government has raised the ban on Twitter. So 39 million people on Twitter, and on LinkedIn, 4.7 million people, on Instagram, 6.9 million people. So it's a big market. And when it comes to content creation, you want to look at text, image, audio, postcard, video, infographics. Now, basically, this informative is key for your profession as a legal professional. You want to tell people, if sometimes it might only take you 15 minutes to write a post about something on LinkedIn or any of your social media platform with a good image and all of that. For instance, let's say when the federal government banned Twitter, that's a good time to write as a lawyer, honestly. Not because you want to get popular, but you want to be an authority when it comes to legal things. Because at that point, the internet is crazy. The internet is looking for things that people are writing about a particular topic. And it's going to help your profile, not because you want to join the craziness of the internet, but you want to stand as a possession, as a stand. You want to stand. You want to position yourself for your own practice. So let's say I'm a mediator, something like that happened, and you just want to write, okay, instead of federal government banning this thing, these are things they could have done to achieve that. Sign Fola Alari. That makes a lot of sense. So let's say, for instance, I want to write an article on what is mediation or how mediation will help you. So I could start my article. In my article, I want to make sure my name is mentioned there because I'm a brand myself. My company name is mentioned there because my company name is also a brand. And I also want the name, whatever the name of the law firm is or my name is, I want it to be online regularly because everywhere you write your name or you write anything online, it's indexed by search engine. So if I repeatedly write Fotefa, somebody posts the road Fotefa and all of that, the search engine is intelligent enough to look at that. This name is appearing consistently. So for instance, I want to write about why mediation is better than litigation or what is mediation it's all about. I could just write my article, okay, mediation, I can define it and say, oh, I can get a definition from Wikipedia and say mediation is blah, blah, blah. And I make reference to Wikipedia. And within my post, I could write, if you want to understand better about mediation or you need a mediator, you can, no, if you want to understand better about mediation, I don't want to be too direct in terms of marketing. If you want to understand better or understand what mediation is, or you want to learn better about it, you could reach out to Fotefa or reach out to Folalade, something like that. You just want to coin something that also bring the reference to your name and your company name. So if you're posting on your blog, on your company blog, and you're just writing about the articles, you're not making any reference or intentional reference to your name or to your firm name, you're just giving free information. You're not driving traffic to yourself. So your online presence. Now, I'm just going to briefly talk about the, I think I'm supposed to round up by now. But in the next 2 minutes, I'm just going to talk
No,
about...
it's fine. Justin, I think it's actually very important. So you can take, you can stop at 1 o'clock. Then we'll take questions for 5 minutes.
Okay, great. So I thought Google My Business. Now, this is key. If you look at, okay, let me just do for Tefa. Now, these are things that really helps you to rank. You're going to see, now, great. You see this coming up. Now, these are intentional. These are things you want people, and usually people won't search for your company name, they'll search for what you do. So if I search for mediation advocates in Nigeria, now you see the list of a bunch of big guys coming from hg.org. Now, the next thing that came up is Fotefa. Because in Fotefa website, we were particular about putting mediation advocates in Nigeria. That is why it's bringing. And the next one that came up is ACMA, these guys, Standard Conference of Mediation Advocate. Those are the guys coming for. Now, you see, Fotefa is listed, apart from these guys that list a lot of law firms, the next person coming up is Fotefa. So now, basically, I know you'll be happy about that. Yeah, because that's what people will usually search for, and that's what drives them to your website. So now, what should your website have? I'm not going to say so much story about that. A simple 5-web-page website with a blog integrated with your social media handles, with book and appointment function, which is going to be a lead generation, are important things your website needs to have to get started and begin to develop a digital footprint for your practice. Because the goal is that you are seen online as an authority in that field. And I think with this, I'm done with my presentation. I'm just going to talk about the offer we have for the academy, and I'll take questions and answers. So we have just 2 offers. We did this, I think, last year. We usually build a website, a 5-page website for 120. So we're doing it for 70,000 for people in this academy, not for everybody. So it's going to cover the building the website, setting up your social media. I know you could have had social media handles already. So if you have it, we are going to optimize what you have, because there are a lot of settings that has to comply with search engine optimization so that you get listed on top when people search anything related to the subject you're talking about or subject you stand for. And these also cover 5 web builds. Then there's the other one. The major difference is we're going to create for you a video explainer that talks about your practice. There's one we did for Mr. Fola. You could check it on his YouTube channel. And we're going to manage your social media for a whole month. That we usually do this at 250. We're bringing it to 100K. So we're going to manage your social media platform for a whole month. We're going to create content for those platforms, and that's about it. So let me take questions.
Okay, before you take questions, I don't know. Can you please make accommodation for people? Because as I speak to you right now, this thing is being streamed live on YouTube. So
Okay.
so chances are that some people might definitely watch this later on and reach out to you. So can I crave your indulgence? Is there a way we can manage that within the framework of this bonanza?
Oh, that means after February 28th.
Yes. So that means that this extends to 28th February 2022 for those that
Oh,
watches on you.
2022. Oh, I wrote
Yes.
2021 there.
Yeah,
That's
or
a mistake.
2021. Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's fine. It's fine. So I hope you can. So I crave your indulgence for those that are watching it live that are not here with us after today to please accommodate them within this framework.
okay, no problem. No
Thank
problem.
you so much. Okay, so Dari, your hand is up. Then please very quickly. No, I think you even finished within time. So very quickly, let's take the questions. Yeah. Okay, Dari. So please, for those that want to unmute themselves to speak, please just introduce yourself and go straight to the question. Please, not make it too long. So Dari, over to you.
My question is, hi Mayoko, hi everybody.
Yeah, hello.
My question is, when you were talking about editing your profile on the Google search engine, I noticed that you had to go to your mobile. So are you saying that to do that, you have to do it on a mobile phone?
Yeah, sure. It has to be a mobile.
Okay, then the second thing is, since you can do that for your personal, your person, individually, can you do that for like a company, or it's just for the person itself?
Yeah, for company, that's why we have Google My Business. That one is the one I talked about, which you have to do mobile, is for it's personal. You can do that for company, so your company profile goes on Google My Business.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a question.
I'm seeing a question here. Okay, go on.
Okay, yeah, so we have a question. And Loretta, you might need to unmute yourself to take the questions, but let me just read this one out. So we have a question from Precious Toju, and the first is this: how long does it take for Google to position one as an authority in a particular subject matter? That's number one. And number two, how can one get to be on Wikipedia or get someone to write about her?
Okay, the first question. Now, when it comes to being an authority, now, first of all, the good part is Google search is location based. So, depending on the competition in that location. So, let's say in your location, you're in Lagos, Nigeria, and you've repeatedly talked about that subject. So even if no other person is talking about it, you're the only authority there. So it depends on the volume of people talking about that subject within your location. So let's say in Nigeria, you have devoted time, energy on your LinkedIn posts, social media, talk consistently about the subject you believe in and the subject you really want to talk about. So over time, and depending on people mentioning you too as the authority in that area, let's say Punch newspaper. Now, there are organizations that are big authority, newspaper complaints, they are big authority. So Google give them preference. So if, for instance, tomorrow Punch talk about Folalade, in fact, by the time if we Google his name, most likely the Punch link will come up first, even before his LinkedIn, because their news organization, their authority. So in terms of how long it will take, nobody can actually say. Now it depends on your location and how many people are talking about that thing in your location. And that's why there's room for us to be very unique. That's why I can't do a copy and paste of something somebody have done. I do a lot of copying by modify. If I modify what somebody has written, you that you wrote it, you will never think I copied from you. So those to get to be an authority in it's about a subject matter, it takes time, and it also depends on the number of people posting about a subject, and it depends on how unique your content is, and depends on something we call backlink. So for instance, Mr. Fola posted about this event with what he did, and he mentioned me on his LinkedIn page. I already have a backlink that somebody else apart from me has mentioned about me, and is telling others that I'm going to talk about digital footprint. So that counts for me. So if you want a list of people that would talk about such a thing, I'll probably show up. Then the next question, link Wikipedia. There are people that edit for Wikipedia. You can also write articles for Wikipedia, but they will have to approve. So there are people that normally just go on Wikipedia, they edit, they add articles and all of that. So I really don't know any now, but I've done that for somebody. I've written about somebody on Wikipedia before, but Wikipedia didn't approve it because the person has, I think, a legal case. Because now the story was the person has a legal case in Canada and is trying to set up a business in Nigeria. So if you Google his name, is going to bring the terrible story about his legal case. So we needed to create a lot of articles about him so that anybody that searches his name in Nigeria, they won't see those legal issues. And we succeeded. I think after 3 months, after posting a lot of things, we're able to write over what the legal case he had. So one of the things we did was to write about him on Wikipedia. So you could get somebody, a friend can just go on Wikipedia and write about you. Then there's a question for those of us that already have a website for law firm. Can we have a social media optimization review? Yeah, you can reach out to me for that.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mayokon. We don't take this for granted. So if anyone wants to reach you, how can they get in touch with you? I know you are everywhere. You're on social, you are everywhere. So
I
what's the
appreciate
fastest?
it.
And okay, and I must quickly also give a good feedback about Mayokon. Mayokon, can you please stop sharing your screen so that we can
Okay.
get back to the main screen? If there is one thing Mayokon has, he has an excellent customer service. So I'm not that savvy, but you call Mayokon at any point in time, he's willing to take his time out to explain stuff to you. There was something Mayokon did that day I was just packaging myself. I don't know how we did it. I didn't know he could actually remotely control my laptop from where he was. So he just told me to do one thing. Next thing, Mayokon was controlling my laptop from where he was. So, and one thing you also need to know is this: you see, you can't know everything. So don't even bother. And if you remember, I started off with something. Your strengths you make better. Your weaknesses you delegate. So if there's one thing you can't take away from Mayokon, so Mayokon, thank you so much.
You're
Nanchang,
welcome.
yeah. So very quickly, we're already. Let's just take your question
Okay,
very quickly. Yeah,
okay, can you hear me?
loud and clear.
Okay, my My question is, I was trying to find out. I didn't get him clearly when he talked about is it a bonanza for persons, and then he was talking about building a website for 100K for people within.
So you know what's going to happen. He has a flyer to that effect. Loretta is going to send a flyer to the group. The flyer contains everything you need to know, and it's not 100K. It's actually it's worth way more than that. But he's actually just giving it at the bonanza of 70K, which is only open for a window of between now to the 28th of February before it goes back to the default price. So how much is the default price, Mayor, so that they can know?
Now, there are two packages. There's the default price for the second package is 250, and we're doing it for 100. And there's the same one we did last year, which is we do it for about 120. We're doing it for 70 for this period.
Okay, then no problem. I think you sent the flyer to us, so we'll make it available on the group chat.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, please. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Please, I wanted to find out. So after building the website and then you do some of these things you said you do, my question is it possible for you to also train somebody from our own side who will take over the maintenance or management of that the website and some of the social media?
Yeah, that's possible. It's possible. We do that.
Okay, so what does that imply? Is it
no? Usually for every project we deliver, we provide a user guide. So this is what you need to consistently do. Things that are not absolutely technical. Things that has to do with your regular updates. You want to add content to your blog and all of that. So not absolutely technical, but things that you can do yourself and helps you to grow your online presence.
Okay, so finally, please, can you differentiate what's the difference between this one, the 250 and the 120?
It's in the flyer. You'll see the difference in the flyer.
It has been posted on the WhatsApp group, so you'll find everything there. Loretta has posted it on the WhatsApp group.
It's all right, thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Miyako. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate the gift of your time, and we look forward to having you more here. So thank you so much.
Okay, yeah. I can take my leave, right?
Oh yes, you can. You can. If
thank you.
We have your details there. If they need to reach out to you, they will reach out to you.
No,
yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Miyako.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. So guys, that's Miyoko for you. He handles website and all that. So we'll be moving over to our second speaker for the day. That's Dari Aborowa. So Dari and I, we've come a long way, right, from uni and all that, classmates and everything. And I remember when I think Miyoko and I said Miyoko, Dari and then Lolia, probably the only people I have it I think I've known the longest because we're classmates in school. So I remember some years ago when Dari reached out to me about wanting to go into mediation. I told him something. I said, Dari, just do me a favor before we even have this conversation of mediation. Just go and become a mediator and a mediation advocate. When you do, leave the rest to me. And so he did that. He became a mediator, and I brought him on board. So Dari doesn't work for me. He works with me. So he has his own law firm, Oludari Aborowa and Co. But we've been able to develop a wonderful synergy in terms of working together. So apart from being a part of Fortefa Partners, he also has his own law firm, and he's also a specialist. He's into mediation and technology. So he will first of all give us a short paper, and then tell us what he does. And if you have any question within the framework of his expertise, he'll be more than glad to take it to you. So Dari, over to you. The floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. I'm not going to waste our time today because Mayoko has really done a lot of work for me, and I'm so glad about that.
Let us know you. You're not wasting our time. We only know your name is Dari Aborowa.
My name is Oludari Aborowa. I'm a lawyer. I'm a mediator. I'm a mediation advocate. I work with Fola at Fortefa Partners, and I'm also on the faculty of Fortefa Mediation Advocates. I run an online mediating firm called Aburo and Co. My main areas are the intersect of law and technology. I'm currently doing a master's in law and technology in the Netherlands, and I also have a master's of science in information technology business, basically. I've had a few working experience when it comes to e-commerce, business analysis in the tech world. I'm more of the tech person, but then I do not want to throw away my legal background. So like Paula said, I got into mediation because I really don't like litigation. I'm not up for all going to court and all that. I want to share my screen real quick. Like I said, I don't want to waste time on, I don't want to waste our time, and I want to go straight into it. I'm sharing my screen. Where's my screen? This is my screen. Share this one. Okay. I don't know if everybody can see my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. We can see your screen.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Today's topic is, I was going to make it online dispute resolution and mediation, but then really what we're talking about, the theme of this training is really mediation and how to start our business and really thinking about making money. So online dispute resolution, the future of ADR. I've introduced myself. This is something I saw when I was researching. This guy is Noah. Noah, he's a lawyer that works with MasterCard for a while. And he said this, he said, not tomorrow, but within the next 5 to 10 years, much of arbitration will be online and we won't remember why we ever did it any other way. I like to emphasize here that, so I put arbitration, but mediation can go in here. Negotiation can also go there. And this is already happening. This was in 2015. We're already here already. So saying ODR is the future, that is an understatement right now. There was something Fola mentioned. Fola said ADR is fast becoming ODR. And as we get along with this presentation, you're going to see just how ODR is becoming fast. ADR is becoming ODR. So a quick definition. I have a feeling everybody knows what ODR is, but just for people that don't know, ODR is the use of information and communication technology to help disputants find resolution to their disputes. Parties manage, transform, and resolve their conflict. It's a digital space in which parties can convene to resolve and their dispute or cases. So basically, it is using technology to solve or resolve disputes. I hope that makes a lot of sense, but that's basically what ODR is. So from Fola, a friend of mine wants to borrow money from Fola. He knows me and knows Fola. He doesn't know Fola very well. We create a small WhatsApp group, just 3 of us. I'm in the center because I'm the one that brought Fola to the guy. Fola borrows the guy 20,000 naira, so I created a WhatsApp group. That's some form of ODR already. So I'm using WhatsApp to moderate. If there's any issue between Fola and the guy over the money, with all of us, we talk about it in WhatsApp group. That's some form of ODR. Now, I'm going here because Fola said ADR is fast becoming ODR. That is the truth. So if you look at these processes or types of ODR, first of all, you diagnose what the dispute is, what are the problems, set expectation around timing and the processes. Then negotiation, you communicate. So I will go back to the communication. I will go to the communication, but I wanted you guys to see that all this I have laid out here are basically ADR. They're alternative dispute resolutions, really. I mean, you negotiate, you mediate. If you mediate and you guys don't come to an agreement, you can now go on to arbitration. All these steps are now being done using technology to get them to resolve. So this is why I would say ADR is quickly becoming ODR. Now, to the communication part of it, there's asynchronous and synchronous. As you can see, there's emails, we already do that, discussion boards, chats from WhatsApp to name it, all form of chat are used nowadays for dispute resolution, instant messaging, audio conferencing, and video conferencing. I want to ask a quick question right now, but I know everybody already, right now we're using Zoom. So Zoom is like the common and popular platform that everybody uses nowadays. Moving on. So what are the benefits and disadvantages of ODL? So it is the benefits are it is cost efficient, it saves time. The market segment is much now. So you have people from different areas, they all go online and can do whatever you need them to do with regards to resolving their dispute. So you have a wide range of clients because you're now leveraging on technology. Simplicity, it is very, very convenient. I mean, you're at home, you don't have to go to your client's place to actually get them to discuss their dispute. Jurisdiction doesn't matter. Like Fola just mentioned, I mean, Europe, someone is in Ibadan, someone is in Port Harcourt, and you're able to use this technology to get everybody to talk about the disputes they have and resolve their disputes. Now, the problems we have is, well, people say that these are problems, but in the ODL space, slowly finding how to go about this issue. So the first one is, you know how in mediation, it's a face-to-face, you can actually tell what one party is feeling, you can pick up from the cues, how they are, the body language. But with ODL, you lack that human element. You can't really tell how one of the parties is feeling. There's certain cues you can't pick up on because they are online, they can decide that, look, I don't want to be on video, and then you can't tell, you can't see them. Another one is security and confidentiality. One party might put their system on mute, and then someone is in the room and can hear what you guys are talking about. So that is an issue that hasn't been resolved yet. Then, you know, one of the major issues we have in our own side, that is in Africa, Lagos, Nigeria, our internet can at times get very, very fumble. So that's one issue, the access to the internet and internet connection. You could also have, say, some clients that are not really tech and IT savvy, and they don't even have internet. So there are ways to go around that, which is you can actually have them come to your place while the other party that is internet savvy can be at their place. Then there's a lack of awareness of ODL. There's a lack of awareness that, you mean I can actually resolve this thing without going there physically. You mean I can do this? So these are the problems I've seen with ODL, and then these are the benefits. Moving on. I want to share some statistics here, but what all this is just saying is that the age group of 18 to 34 are always online. They do everything they have to do online. Now, that being said, website visitors in this age bracket, they constitute the biggest group of online users worldwide. Like I said, 18 to 34 years old, these are the people. So the essence of me bringing out this data is, if you're thinking of how am I going to make money ODL, then you want to do a market segmentation. You want to look at the age group that you can appeal to get them to help resolve their dispute. You should look into this age graph. Now, I read this, I got this online. It says the global legal online dispute resolution market size was 57 million in 2020, and it is expected to reach 210 million by 2028. Note that I emphasize legal here. So that means if you add the non-legal online dispute resolution, these figures will be definitely way more than this. Now, the motivations for looking at ODL and using ODL, our court systems are overburdened. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, we all know that the courts take too much time. Parties don't feel like they had their say. People are not really, really happy about what is going on. So this is a motivation for you to know that, okay, aside from the fact that let's look at alternative dispute resolution, let us also look at alternative dispute resolution online. So for the fact that the courts are overburdened, that is an avenue for you to use to make your ODR practice better. The future of commerce is actually online, e-commerce. Now, I put some statistics here for you to ponder on. The yearly growth rate of global e-commerce is 20%. 50 billion e-commerce purchases are done globally. That was 2017. and there's a 1 to 3% e-commerce transaction generates a dispute. That means as of 2017, we had over 1 billion global e-commerce disputes. Now, this figure as of 2021 is not 1 billion, but it's over 6 billion disputes, e-commerce disputes. You know what that means? That means that you have enough business online. You have enough disputes to resolve online. Now let's don't even talk globally. Let's look locally. Let's look at Nigeria, Lagos. The transactions that are going on online are so much that you would not lack customers. So it's a gold mine. And if you know the inner workings of ODL, I'm telling you, it can actually be passive income, because you can actually be anywhere in the world resolving people's disputes by leveraging on technology. The rise in technology development and improvement. So technologies like blockchain, algorithm resolution, smart contracts, natural language processing, all these technologies are coming up. And aside from having some people say, okay, look, I don't know this technology, you have to pay high money for it. They are also making them bespoke. You can actually have free versions of them to use. Moving on. So what are the opportunities? How do you make money from ODL? How can I make money leveraging on ODL? All right. I know that people will say that in this training right now, we have more lawyers than non-lawyers, but I'm not going to emphasize for lawyers. I'm emphasizing for non-lawyers as well. Commercial transactions and non-commercial transactions. Someone like Fola, he avoids non-commercial transaction in the sense that he tries to avoid family disputes because he doesn't like the stress.
Because he likes money. That's just it.
He likes money. But to be very sincere, there's a lot of money in commercial transaction. There is also money in non-commercial transaction if you know how to manage the stress. So, but I want to emphasize here the commercial, and I'll give you my reasons. So I'll show you why I'm saying that. There are customers that are customers and industry specific sectors. That is, there are customers that there are certain things they do online. That's all they do. These customers are yours. There are industry specific sectors, so much, and I'm going to list a couple of them out for you to see. But one thing you need to know about online dispute resolution is that usually most of them are commercial, low value disputes, high volume disputes, cross-border transactions. Cross-border doesn't have to be abroad. It could be cross-border Lagos, Ghana, Abuja, Ibadan. It's already a given fact right now that less complex dispute work are already being claimed by online dispute resolution services. Don't just think locally anymore. Think locally and then think globally. I want to give some instances. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if you have this situation whereby you get like a message on your WhatsApp, random message on your WhatsApp that says that somebody you know is a fraudster, has been owing money, blah, 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 for this period of time. I don't know if this has happened to anybody. Please, if this has happened, please just let me know, like show of hand or something.
Yes.
Okay, so what is going on is that there's a rise in buy now, pay later. There's a rise in small companies that give you small loans, and these companies are coming up so much everywhere now. I mean, I think the government sort of like giving them license to do this. You don't really need to come to the office and drop too much guarantee or drop a collateral. There's a different range and different money you can loan from them. So what I'm saying in this is that there's a whole lot of dispute coming up. These are areas that as a mediator, as a dispute resolutor, you can actually make money from this. You can actually set up online practices whereby this is your sector. Fintech is blowing big time right now. There's a whole lot of fintech going on right now. And I'm telling you, there are commercial disputes every day. And these people are in different parts of the world, different parts of Africa, different parts in Nigeria. all you need to do is channel your business, channel your practice in such a way that they know that when it comes to dispute, they want quick resolution. They don't want to spend too much money. They want to come to your website and be able to resolve their dispute or set up a meeting with whoever it is they have the dispute with. They're thinking about you. So I want to tell you about two things. Owning a website is not something that you think about anymore. Even if it's just a one-pager website, even if it's a two-pager website, you have to own a website now. It's if you really want to be in this ODL space and you want to remain relevant in this sector, you have to have a website. Now, there's some secrets I discovered about ODL and owning a website and being online. You can have a website that has a chat function. Now, by chat function, I made a chatbot. A chatbot is people say it's artificial intelligence, but really it is just where your customers, your potential customers come and they tell you what the dispute is. They give you the answer certain questions, and then they have already ready-made answers for those questions. So as they ask the questions and they're getting the answers and they're getting more questions, their issues and their disputes are being narrowed down to what the specific dispute is. So before you even start to engage with this party, you already have an idea what the problem is, what problem they're having, what it is that they really want to solve. This is before they even call you and start talking to you. They come to your website and the chatbot has been able to get the core of their disputes. That's one. Another thing is, I want to talk about something called blind bidding. Blind bidding, it's they are bespoke and they are off the shelf, but it's a software that you can use for mediation. It's usually you can use it for arbitration, use it for even litigation if you want to. But blind bidding is where you have the two parties and you are in between, and say they're arguing, their dispute is over 200,000 naira, for instance, and they're both in different parts, and they've come to you, they've come to your website, and you're like, okay, fine. This is what we're going to do. You're going to use the blind bidding software, and the blind bidding software, what it does is that it allows parties to come to a resolution, but the way they do it is that each of them say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I want. So party A says, I know I owe you 200,000. And party B says, I want all my money. The party A says, look, I'm willing to pay 120. Party A says, I want 150. But underneath all this, there's a blind bidding going on there, which is, although party A is saying that I'm willing to pay 120, and that's what he's telling to party B, but in the blind bidding software, party A is already saying that, although I'm saying 120, I'm willing to go as high as 150. And then party B, although he's saying that he wants 160 or he wants 170, he's willing to accept 150. They're not saying it. It's only you, the mediator, that's saying it on your website. But the parties are not saying what the parties are saying now. This is what they're saying. So it gets to a point where, because their hidden prices are already marked. That is, party A has said, look, I'm willing to pay 150. Party B has said he's willing to accept 150. They are not saying it, but you can see that, okay, they've come to a point of agreement. You now tell them, okay, 150 has been accepted, and since both of them have said that they will accept that, you sort their problem out. And all this was done on your website. All this was done virtually. All this was done online. So people will come and ask and say, do I need to get certified for ODL? I would say that it's really not necessary, because a lot of online dispute resolution materials are out there for you to read about it, learn about it, go on YouTube. But because we are in Nigeria and Africans, we like to show that this thing, we know it and we're certified for it. I would like to mention just one particular certification, which you can or you cannot. It all depends on you. There's a network called ODR Africa. It's Online Dispute Resolution Africa, and I would say that they're the top ones over there, because what they do is They are partnered with the #1 online dispute resolution platform in the world, and they've sort of brought it to us in Nigeria. So if you're looking at certification, I would say ODR Africa. Don't worry, you get the slide, but you won't get the slides alone. You're going to get the references as well as other resources that you can actually look on. Another thing is research, and research. You have to research your customers, research the tools you want to use, research what area it is that you're thinking of commercial transactions that are of not too much, not the value isn't high, it's not billions, and they're high volume because there are a lot of them. I remember when I would try and go and buy something at Computer Village, and the amount of disputes that I hear, I'm like, this is a gold mine here. There's so much wahala here that I need to come here and just mediate these guys and solve their problem. You have to research your customers, you have to research your location, you have to research the tool you want to use. It's imperative for you to continue to improve yourself. You need to keep abreast of the latest technology, keep abreast of what is happening in the mediation space, what's happening in the online dispute resolution space. This is something I saw in another slide, which is basically saying everything about technology and how it's going to help more people. Empowering innovation transforms something that is complicated and expensive into something that is so much more simple and affordable that a much larger population can enjoy it. That's the end of my presentation, and then I'm going to take questions.
Excellent one, Dari. We actually have 2 hands up. So I need to just quickly say this before I take, I think there was a lady whose hand was up before Lolia. I think it was a Chineye. I think you raised your hand, Chinago. You raised your hand and you put it back down. Do you still want to ask any question before I move over to Lolia?
No, I don't. I'm fine.
Okay, you're fine. So if there is one thing that I think you all need to add to whatever to going into mediation practice is this. Aside from being a mediator and a mediation advocate, I said this once and I'm going to say it again. You just have to be a trainer. Because it's evolving, you find yourself having to explain a lot of things to everyone. And there's a presumption that for you to teach something, you are an expert at it. So in anything and everything you're trying to do with regards to setting up a practice, have it at the back of your mind that you have to add another stream of income to it. You have to think about becoming a trainer. So I'll take Lolia before I take Nan Chang. So very quickly, Lolia.
No, I don't actually have a question. I raised my hand when he was asking about if you've ever gotten a WhatsApp message about, someone owing money, blah, 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 and everything.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Okay, great stuff. Okay, Nan Chang, can we have your question?
Okay. My question is what he's presenting to ask statistics and
Nan Chang, I really didn't hear you very well. I think it's the network, but you can also type it in the group chat. Or could you talk again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There's a feedback, so I don't know what so could you just keep talking. We'll figure out. We'll hear what you want to say. Go on.
Okay, my question is, I noticed that you made reference to some statistics and data. So I want to get access to statistics, facts, and data on ADR online.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Then,
Nan Chang, you might need to type. We can't hear you. There's so much feedback from your end.
Okay. Let me type.
Yes. Okay, great.
Okay, so while Nan Chang is typing, I want to answer his first question, then I would answer Precious' question as well. So Nan Chang, I'm going to send the slides, but not just the slides as well, a list of websites and materials that you can actually read. These materials cover a lot of things on ODL, ethics on using Zoom for mediation, and more information on how to go about this whole ODL process. So Pressure just asked a very, very important question. She said, how can ODR agreements can be signed by parties be enforceable, especially from different jurisdictions? Pressures, the good thing about ODR right now is that there are e-signature softwares, even on Adobe, but the thing is, the thing that needs to be done first is that before parties go into the ODR process, they need to agree that their agreement has to be, if they need to agree that you can actually use electronic signatures to sign those documents that have been passed by both parties. If this is agreed from the get-go, then it's fine. They can use electronic signatures. In our courts in Nigeria, I'm not too certain about the position on that, but I have a feeling that we've moved way past that now, and electronic signatures have been accepted in the court. So if the courts allow electronic signatures, then this is binding on both parties. The second question is, how can one set up an ODR platform? Is it just about having a website, or there's more? Okay, so we have off-the-shelf softwares that you can just buy and integrate into your website, and we have bespoke. But I'm going to advise right now, there's no point in buying off the shelf, and I'll tell you why. We have Modria, we have Settle. There's a whole array of softwares for ODR. But right now, presently, the easiest and the best to use currently is Zoom, because Zoom gives you an avenue to invite both parties wherever they are, gives you an avenue to break out into caucuses. That is, you have breakout rooms where you can have one party and you talk about something, and then you can leave that place and talk to the other party, or even bring everybody together. But Zoom does everything you need to do virtually. So why bother going to get different softwares when one software can do that for you? Another thing I mentioned was on your website, you can have, what's it called? A chat robot. A chat bot basically takes all the questions from any party at all that just comes to a website and has an issue. So before even talking to you, the bot is already pre-organized questions that your party is answering, and as they're answering and they're getting more questions, they've narrowed it down to the dispute. So you're already getting the notification that there's somebody on your website. You're already seeing that, okay, this is the person's problem. I can resolve this person's problem. There was one more thing about the website. Aside from having a bot, you can also have forms on your website that allows parties decide if they want to actually have the ODR, what time is good for them, what platform they would like to use, or if they're okay with just WhatsApp, if they're okay with just audio calls, so you give your potential customers the avenue to choose how they want to go about this. But don't forget that what you're really, really doing is leveraging on technology. So I would say Zoom is the first place, and then chatbots are very, very easy. They're cheap, and you can actually implement them yourself. I want to share my.
Okay, Dari, we might just keep the responses short. We have two more people waiting.
I'm so sorry.
So we can finish by 1:40 and move over to someone else. Okay, so Lolia, could you? Your hand is up again. Is this deliberate?
Yeah.
Okay,
so I wanted to, just going back to the scenario you raised about the WhatsApp message, where you get a text saying, someone is owing money and blah, blah, blah. How do you insert yourself into a scenario like that with the online dispute resolution setup?
So when I mentioned that, what I was really talking about was the opportunity that has arisen for lawyers and mediators, in the sense that I know people working in these kind of companies. I also have people that have these issues. I also know about buy now, pay later disputes. It's coming up everywhere in Lagos. Now, it's an avenue to make money. If you notice, I mentioned one of the key takeaways is research, and research. From my research, I've been able to talk to a couple of these companies, to talk to their staffs, and I know that they don't have a way of resolving these disputes. They don't have anywhere at all. So if I can come and say, Oga, this is me, this is what I do. I have this platform on my website whereby just tell the people that are owing you money, Shebi, you want to collect your money, but you can't get your money and you need to get your money. So they're owing you how much? How much do you want to get? How much have you gotten? what's the best way to, do you want to go and bring police or do you want to get your money? And they agree. Then all they have to do is point those people to your website and then you resolve it for them. Find out what their issue is, what the problem they're having. Because mediation really is about finding the middle point. So if you can talk to those people and say, okay, what are your major challenges? How much can you bring? You're already helping these people to get their money, also helping people that are owing money, and you collect your small percentage. Remember, it is high volume, low claim. It's just collecting small money on the side, but you're making money and you're also getting traffic to your website.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we're going to keep these questions very short so that we can, because allow the next speaker speak. Akin, could you please unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, so I really appreciate the whole teaching on the legal technology. I've been making my own personal research, but my question has always been that, how do we monetize it? I mean, yes, we can settle disputes like high volume, low, low price. But how do we actually monetize it? Peradventure, we've solved the disputes, and it's now time for payments. Yes, sir. That was my question.
Okay. Well, we're actually going to take that in the business of mediation of mediation. So you want to take that very quickly?
Okay. So if you're resolving a dispute between two parties, you already let them know, because it's low claim and it's high volume, you already have a certain percentage of tagged on every money that you recover for the parties. So if it's just 20,000 naira, you're taking how many percent? Do you agree with them on what percentage you're taking? So the moment that is done, you have a small percentage you're taking, but this is over time. You're not trying to make money down at once. It is low claim and it is high volume. So because it's plenty, you're making small percentage, but it's adding to you. Now, with regards to monetizing this as well, don't forget that this is driving traffic to your website. A lot of people are now knowing about you, about the services you offer, and they're referring people to your website, to your services. Now you're getting more customers. The more customers you're getting, the better you're getting at what you're doing and the more money you're making. So that's an avenue to monetize.
Yeah, but I'm actually going to expand this context that the next training we'll be having next week, Saturday. So, Darry, let's bullet points 111. The first is this: how to get access to ADR statistics.
I've seen it.
Yeah, what gadget can I get for ODR? Just one bullet point. And if Nan Chang needs further explanation, he should just reach out to you. You're on the WhatsApp platform. But just can you give bullet answers to this? So
okay. Nacha, for the first question, the ADR statistics, do you want it global or locally? Locally, I would send it. It's going to come to you with my Zoom slide as well. So you get that. Okay. So for gadgets, your mobile phone, if you're not someone that has a lot of money, your mobile phone is very, very perfect for now. Mobile phone and an avenue where you don't have a lot of noise, but your mobile phone is the best tool. Now, if you have a laptop, then you're set. So a mobile phone and a laptop, and you're good to go. For starters, that's all you need.
Yeah, can you also expand the context of that question to talk about the apps? Apart from Zoom, what other apps can you use? Google Teams and all that. Yeah.
Okay. So the two biggest companies that are really into ODL space is Modria and then there's Tyler Technologies. And then there's Smart Settle. Smart Settle is the one that does the blind bidding. So there's blind bidding by Smart Settle. So Smart Settle blind bidding is something that mediators are going to be using in the near future. It's something that's going to assist them in. They don't even need to do much. So it says blind bidding by Smart Settle. I'm going to give this in the resources that will be sent to everybody. There is Modria, and then there is Tyler Technologies. They have off the shelf and they do bespoke, but they come at a certain price. And given that we're just starting our own practice, we don't want to really spend too much money on when we have actually created that much customer.
Okay, so can he get someone to do the technology for him while he concentrates on the disputes?
Oh, definitely. So to be honest, integrating this is really, really very, very easy. If you don't want to do it yourself, I'm sure if you reach out to me or reach out to Mario-kun, we'll be able to sort this out for you. This would be good for a recording device.
No, you're not supposed to record for mediation.
Mediation
because of confidentiality.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that shouldn't even come into play at all.
Okay.
So by the time you get into the hang of it, Nanchang, you are not allowed to record because the moment you talk about recording, you are breaching the rules of confidentiality. So that is on the WhatsApp platform. If you have further questions, he's very open to answering you. So very quickly, we'll be moving over to the next person, and that's Loretta, who I fondly like to call my super effective executive assistant. So a bit of context into Loretta and how we almost have like a yin yang kind of thing. So contrary to public opinion, for someone like myself here who is highly cerebral, we can be all over the place, and it's still within the framework of you having an understanding of your weaknesses and all that. So what Loretta does is that she puts a bit of structure into it. So I could just call Loretta, I think I'm having an idea about this. Can you just can you flesh in this up? Can you, because you see, one thing about ideas sometimes is that what you think of when you think about an idea and when you want to implement the idea, they're two different things entirely. In your mind, the ideas might be fantastic, but when you now decide to want to implement it, it's a different ball game entirely. You see, everything you see today, even the whole construct of Fortefa Mediation Academy and how Fortefa Mediation Academy has been able to, by all standards, be farther than Fortefa partners, I tell you, started off as a fluke. And within that framework, again, I'm also going to talk about opportunities. I remember when I was going to get um, an intern, yes, to just start off during my years. Loretta, how long have you been working with me now? Because everybody needs to hear this story. How long? Sorry.
Mute. Okay. It's
Yeah,
been 3 years and like 4 months.
3 years. So what level were you in when you came in?
I joined when I was in year 4.
Okay, so Loretta joined when she was in year 4. I think I can remember what's it called putting out a post. I always say this because you see, when opportunities want to come, they just come and you have to be waiting. So I think I posted, I was trying to get an intern to assist with the back end and all of that. I remember putting out that post at, was it 110 or 210? I can't remember the time. But I remember as soon as I put that post out saying I was looking for an intern, in less than 5 minutes, I got an email. Now, that was the only email. After that email, I think I must have gotten over 150. But I kid you not, Loretta's email was the only email I opened. Her CV was the only CV I went through. The remaining I didn't even go through it. So I signed it to an HR person who went through some of them and came up with 5. So I think we met somewhere in Ikeja, like it was like 5 or 6 or 7. I just sat down there. So, but it was only Loretta's name I had in my head. Others were speaking and all of that. And the point I'm just trying to make out of all of this is that because she seized the opportunity, um, look at her today. And in 3 years, she's been able to move from an intern to a research assistant. Now she's the executive assistant, and she's also been called to the bar. And you see, half of what you see at the back end is being managed by her. If there has to be a post, if there has to be a lot of things, everything has to go through her before she comes to meet me. And she's very soft spoken. I'm even surprised I can even hear her voice. So I remember when we had this conversation, I said, Loretta, look, you cannot work with me and not talk. You cannot work with me and not be a trainer, because the truth of the matter there is this: it's one thing to be a mediator, it's another thing to be a mediation advocate, and it's another thing to be a trainer. So I told her all this shy you're doing. No. I'm going to push you out and bring out the best in you. And if there is one thing I think I know, I have an inner eye for, is to see people for what they are and all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present my super effective EA, Loretta. So this is going to be her first training of many more trainings. So Loretta, over to you. Let's have you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
And
Thank you
it's
for
streaming live, oh,
Yes,
so everybody's going to
yes,
see it too.
yes, I know.
Okay then.
Thank you very much for that introduction, sir. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. If at any point you can't hear me, then please let me know.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay. Let's see. It's not coming up. I have my presentation. So can you see my screen?
No, it's saying Loretta has started screen sharing. Okay, if it's okay, yes. Okay, you are viewing. I can say that I'm viewing your screen.
Okay.
Yes, but it's still loading. Yes, I can see your slide presentation, but it's still loading. Can you see from your end?
Yes, I can see from my end.
Yes, so I can see what I can see here is structuring your mediation practice for 21st century.
Yes.
Okay, so you're good to go.
Right. I believe my screen is very clear now.
Yes, and we're taking notes.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to today's session. Thank you all for being here, for keying into what we do at Fortefa Mediation Academy, which is to equip lawyers and professionals with mediation skills that they can always use in their field and in their own private mediation practice. So today I'll be talking about structuring your mediation practice for the 21st century. Yes, I believe Mr. Fola has already introduced me and told you a bit about what I do at Fortefa Mediation Academy. I graduated from the University of Lagos. I'm an associate member of the ICMC, and I am super passionate about mediation. Today's agenda, I'm going to be introducing the session, then we'll talk about the basics. We'll talk about building a competent team, building a brand online and offline, leveraging on technology, which Mr. Dari and Mr. Mayokun have already spoken extensively about, and then I'll take questions. So let's begin. The basics. When you are structuring your mediation practice, there are some basic things that you need to think about and you have to put in place. The first is your vision. So what vision do you have for mediation? You're going to take mediation courses. You see that you're really interested in this mediation thing. You want to be in that space. What is your vision? What is that mental picture that you have? When you think about mediation, what is that problem in the world that you see that you think that mediation can solve, that you can use mediation to, help improve on things and on the situation of things that you see and help solve problems, basically. So you need to think about your vision. For us at Fortefa Mediation Academy, our vision is to equip lawyers, like I said, and professionals with mediation skills, because there's so much going on in the court system, especially in Nigeria. And with the way, things are changing rapidly, we realize that mediation is the future. And now, more than ever, every professional and every lawyer needs to have mediation skills. So we're on a mission to propagate the gospel of mediation, basically, nationally and internationally. Another thing you have to think about is your target audience. So you can't talk to everybody at the same time. You cannot be, reaching out to everyone facing all kinds of problems at the same time. I mean, you can, but it will be very difficult to set yourself apart and to, stand out among the crowd. So you need to have a target audience. You must have heard that specialization is the name of the game. You need to have a certain group of people that you tilt towards and you think you want to speak to. So for Mr. Fola, for instance, he does more of commercial mediation. So he's super passionate about businesses. He describes himself as a businessman disguised as a lawyer. So he's very passionate about businesses and helping businesses to solve their problems without the rigors of going to court. You too should have like a target audience, a group of people that you want to speak to. For instance, if you're passionate about families or community settings, you can decide that you want to have a mediation practice that will help communities resolve communal conflicts or help families resolve family conflicts. You can speak to that audience. You can speak to that category of people. If it's for students there are so many aspects of life. And that's why mediation is not just for lawyers, it's for all professionals. So if you're an engineer, for instance, you are very much aware of the kind of disputes that engineering firms face. you are, you can specialize in that area and say you want to build a mediation practice solely targeting, engineering firms and companies that want to bring on engineers. You see the kind of disputes that are there, you're a professional there, you can have your mediation practice in that field. Another basic thing you need to have, or you need to know and put in place, are your goals. So what are the step-by-step actionable plans that you have for your mediation practice? What are those specific things that you want to achieve and you want to accomplish with your mediation practice? So when you see that big mental picture, you know where you're going to, you have the vision and everything. You need to also break it down into goals so that it can help you plan on how you want to move from this level to the next level, and then you know when and how soon you need to expand. And if you want to also delve into other areas that you're not currently doing. And the last thing that I think is very basic when you want to, in structuring your mediation practice is having a written business plan. It's very important for you to have a document that you can always refer back to. So in your business plan, you have all these things, your vision, your target audience, your goals, you know who you're speaking with, you know what you're saying. You have everything in your business plan. You have the blueprint, basically, of what your practice is going to look like. It's not going to be static. It's not going to be like that forever. To keep changing and keep evolving as you also evolve as a mediator or a mediation practitioner. So those are 4 things that I think are the basics. I'll now move on to building a team. Building a team is also another very important part of structuring your mediation practice. Why do you need a team? Like Mr. Fola said earlier, you can't do it all by yourself. There's so many things that happen at the back end of a mediation practice. And so it's very important that you have a team. You will need people to, rub minds with. You need people to share ideas with, people to bounce off ideas on. You also need people to delegate tasks to. You can't be in so many places at the same time. And as you grow, even as a business, you need more hands on board to start to serve, different parts of your mediation practice. What should you look out for when you're hiring? You should look out for diligence, skill, the requisite education. You should look out for passionate people. And then because it's the 21st century, there's really nothing much you can do without tech. I mean, we're here on Zoom now from different parts of the country and the world because of technology. So whoever you'll be bringing on board has to be very tech savvy as well. And then as the owner of the mediation practice, the founder, the principal, what should you put in place for your team? You should have organizational procedures and systems. These could be in form of handbooks or manuals that you share with your team. And that's why you can always refer back to your business plan. You have all those things in a document that you can share with them to really help them understand how things are supposed to run. And then, they also know what the bigger picture is. They know what to do and what not to do, what the culture of the organization is like, and, how to approach clients and different things like that. I hope you all can still see my screen. The next thing I'm going to, okay. Thank you, sir. The next thing I'll be talking about is building a brand online. The first thing I think you need to do in building a brand online is to create your own unique brand identity. So what would be your unique font? What would be your logo? What would be your unique colors? I'll leave that to the next speaker anyway. He's really the branding guru for TEFA Mediation Academy. So he will talk a bit more about, the different things you need to think about when creating your own unique brand identity. Another thing to do in building a brand online is to connect with people in the mediation space online. So Mr. Mayokun already spoke about that earlier. Instagram, there's LinkedIn, there's Twitter, and a whole lot of other social media platforms and online spaces where you can connect with people. I know how LinkedIn is so powerful. There are so many local and international mediators that you can connect with on LinkedIn. You can form partnerships with them, attend their events as well. They'll attend yours. when it comes to connecting with people, you need to understand that it's not just a take. You have to give as well. So you support them and they support you as well. That's where the strong connection comes. And social media is really big now. You can meet people even without leaving the comfort of your home. So when building a brand online, it's important to connect with people online. You should also make contributions to issues on social media that you think mediation can solve. So when there are trending issues, and you think that, okay, mediation can come in, with mediation or mediation skills or general conflict resolution skills, we can solve this, very easily. Whether it's on Facebook or on Instagram, always try to make contributions. It might even be when you attend a physical program, make contributions and, tell people about how mediation can solve these problems, and also pitch in what you do as a mediation practitioner. And yes, educate people online about your work as a mediation practitioner and the services you render. For instance, with your WhatsApp, you can, you can always talk on your WhatsApp status, educating people and enlightening them on what mediation is, on what you do as a mediation practitioner, and how you help people solve their problems. Because mediation is all about problem solving, helping people solve their problems without the rigors of the court system. So the next thing is building a brand offline. To do that, you should curate rather, and attend physical trainings, meetups, etc. for mediators and mediation enthusiasts. If you're in a location where there are not many physical trainings, nothing stops you from planning and setting up one in your location. For instance, Nanchang, who is in Kaduna, I don't think there's so many mediation, because I'm in Kaduna as well currently. I don't think there are so many mediation events. As a mediator or a mediation advocate, someone who is passionate about mediation, nothing stops you from organizing one. It could even be in church, for a school program, for a community program. And then you talk about mediation and also help to spread the gospel of mediation. That's a way of building your brand offline. As you begin to grow as a business, as a practice, you should consider having branded merchandise. Well, that's one thing we did at Fotefa Mediation Academy. We have branded shirts, joggers, jackets, and everything for members of the team. If you wear it out, people will definitely ask you questions, and then with that, you can tell them about what you do. Another way to build a brand offline is to offer quality services specifically targeted at your unique customers. So let's say you're also serving businesses, for instance. Those are your customers, your target audience. It's important to offer quality services to them, because they will refer you to other people. They will tell other people about how, oh my God, there was this mediator. In fact, that problem was hooking me here. And, he just solved everything for us. After like 2 meetings, I couldn't even believe that the other party was ready to settle. And we had an agreement and everything is fine now. So you should strive to offer quality services specifically targeted at your unique customers, so that they can also tell more people about what you do as a mediator. And yes, educate people offline about your work. So it also goes back to setting up physical trainings, attending physical trainings. And lastly, you should strive to be the best mediation practitioner in your niche. So that area that you've chosen to specialize in, be the best you can be there. And before you know it, before long, word will go out that there's a mediator somewhere that is very good with handling, certain types of cases and problems. Then you should leverage on technology. I think we've spoken a lot about that today. And yeah, that takes me to content creation. So when you're creating content, I have some, tips before I speak about, leveraging on technology. Your target audience matters when it comes to content creation. And one thing I would advise is for you to use social listening tools to know what are your target audience, what are they talking about, what are their problems, what are their issues. Let's assume you want to go into family mediation, for instance. So what are the issues now surrounding families? We have issues of paternity, we have issues of infidelity. you find the problems that can come up and the different things that can go wrong, and start to say, okay, I need to start creating content around these areas. I need to start making posts that will educate people on what to do, families, husbands, wives, on what to do when they find themselves in this kind of situation and how they can resolve the conflicts amicably. So your target audience really matters, because then again, you're not talking to everybody. You're talking to just those unique people that you want to serve. Use eye-catching graphics. The next speaker will talk more about that. Use eye-catching graphics. Don't restrict yourself to just images. You can use TikTok. You can do Instagram Reels. In fact, you can set up a YouTube channel and do videos educating people online. It doesn't just have to be the regular social media platforms we have, or just written content or visual content. You can also make videos, infographics, short videos, and the rest of that. Another thing is to create relatable content, especially when you're using social media. You want to create content that people can relate to, they want to share, they want to, spread the word for you and, help you do more
Are you almost
marketing.
done, Loretta?
Yes, sir, I'm almost done.
Okay.
Yes. And then always have a call to action. Tell them what you want them to do. Do they subscribe to your YouTube channel? Do you want them to visit your website? Do you want them to send you a DM? Do you want them to give you a phone call, schedule a meeting with you? Always have a call to action. Then on leveraging on technology, use content scheduling tools. This will really help your team to schedule your content, and then they can also do other things, especially if they're working remotely. Use connectivity tools like Google Meet, Zoom, Skype to connect and have meetings, as if you want to embrace remote working, which is the future of work. And then use productivity tools such as Slack, Trello, Asana to set targets and tasks and manage your team's activities. So I'll be rounding up with this quote. The thing that keeps a business ahead of the competition is excellence in execution. Execution is everything. So when you've put all these things together as you structure your mediation practice, execute.
Hmm.
Yes. Questions, if there are any questions.
I'm feeling like a proud father right now. Do you know that? I am simply blown away. That way, on mute now. As in, I'm feeling like a very proud that Loretta. Hey, Jesus, don't worry. You have become a coach now. Beautiful. This is awesome. I am blown away.
Nice
Simply
Thank you
blown
very
away.
much, sir.
And you see what I always try to make people understand. Okay, you can please stop sharing your screen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Then we're going to talk about this geography because they seem to be finer than mine, and that's a bit of a problem for me.
I'm telling you.
Because
I
I'm
was going to
telling you,
message her.
so no, we have to do something about it. So in trying to build a team, you would have to kiss a lot of frogs to kiss a princess, to kiss a princess or a prince. So, but like I said, you need to have a vision. You need to have an idea of where you are going to, and they all know me where know me. If there is the biggest mistake you can make is to come and meet me with a problem without suggesting solutions. It's not going to work. You're not with me to tell me what I know. You're with me to tell me what I don't know. So back end, you don't even want to know the fights that happen on the WhatsApp group where it's always a lot of back and forth. She's there, so most times because of my kind of personality, I'm like, you know what, just sort this out. We always bickering back and forth. But what this does eventually is that each and everybody on my team can set up a seamless mediation practice. I can tell you that for free. They can, because you see, this thing is a working template. It's a working template. They all know what to do. I can confidently say, yeah, Loretta, you know what, this person is trying to set up a mediation practice. You have the working template. Go and assist them in setting up a mediation practice. They know what to do. They know the kind of content to come up with. They know what to say and all of that. So, Loretta, I'm going to engage you very briefly before we take questions. In not too many words, can you tell them how a post starts from, where and how you derive inspiration for posts? Because now it's on auto run. I don't even tell you what post, what kind of post I want anymore. I can't remember the last time we had that conversation. I just know that I just go online and I just see a post on mediation. So can you tell us, just give us a run through of what it takes to put up a post, what Janet does, down to when you now give it to what's it called, to Bolagon, who's coming up to speak, and then when it's eventually posted. Just briefly before we take the questions online.
So there are different ways to come up with post ideas or content ideas. Like I said, you can do some social listening. What are the problems that your target audience are currently facing? What is trending now? The people, that's why I said your target audience really matters. If you are serving businesses, what are the business problems that are very common today? And how do you think you can use mediation to solve that? So from there, you can start having, ideas and say, okay, let me make a list of 5 things I think businesses should do whenever they face conflicts. So one, they should maybe set up a meeting with the other party, engage a professional if they think that they cannot, handle it anymore. They should have a dispute resolution clause in any transaction agreement that they have. And, that's how the inspiration comes really. So I have Janet, who is my assistant. She's the research assistant on the team. So we brainstorm and we, come up with so many different ideas for short videos, for listicles, for, quotes and all. And then we fine tune it and make it serve the people that, we want to serve, businesses, people in commerce. That's how you should really come up with your own kind of content. So if you're creating content for family mediation, for instance, it will be different. The tone you will even use to write what you want to say will be different. Exactly. And then we send it to Usman and he comes up with the design. Sometimes we might have an idea on what we want it to look like. We share that with him, and he being the professional, he will give us his professional advice and then we go on from there.
Okay, thank you. And I must add that everything you see today, from the IG Live to YouTube, even to Fortefa Mediation Academy, all started off as a fluke. And I must also add that one thing I would also encourage everyone to do is not to overthink a process. You should be willing to make mistakes. You just, if an idea comes to you, then try. If you don't get it right, you've learned a lesson. Like the first training we had, I can't begin to tell you how much we spent, what we had to do. Loretta literally had to come down to the study. We printed letters to over how many law firms? Loretta, unmute yourself now, so that they can know. So that they can know
40 law firms in
over
Lagos.
over 40 law firms in Lagos. We printed out letters. We sent to them. We did social media marketing. You know how much we spent? I think it was like 300. Or how much? How much was
$300 for just email marketing.
we spent $300 for email marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not get one single conversion from all of this. We did sponsored ads. We did sponsored ads across board. We did not get a single conversion. Do you know where the conversion came from? WhatsApp. I'm telling you. See, for those of you following me that think I've become a nuisance on WhatsApp, it's not my fault. I've had to learn things the hard way. So you need to understand that when you are marketing a product, it's different from when you are marketing a service. They are two different ball games entirely. So because we had to learn the hard way on what to do when it comes to marketing, we now know what to do. We know that if not for anything at all, if you are starting off, leverage heavily on family and friends. That's the thing. Leverage heavily on family and friends. When I'm going to be having my own talk, I'm also going to be talking about how you can make millions using WhatsApp. So everything you see today was learned through sweat, tears, and blood. The fights, the misunderstandings. When I start, they know. We scatter everything, we come up and all of that. And it's funny. When we're going to come up with this training, we just said, you know what, let's have a training. And here we are today. So it's really very, very important to have a team that is aligned. You have a team that sees where you are going to. There's a WhatsApp group, you drop ideas, and most importantly, let them express themselves. I don't I tell them they are my retirement plan. I don't say, okay, fine, whatever is a Fola thing. They all know what we are going to. They know, and I tell them one thing, that look, this is not a Fola thing. This belongs to everybody. When I have an idea, I don't impose ideas on them. Sometimes when we can't even reach a conclusion, we vote. So, and I tell them one thing, that I'm the principal partner does not mean you have to agree with me on anything. So I tell them my point. She states her point. Dari states his point. Janet states her point. Uthman states his point. We look at it very well. If we cannot reach, if we can't reach a consensus, we vote. So that is how to run an organization. And you see, when you're dealing with the younger generation, they need to feel that level of acceptance. They need to be able to key into where they are going to, because if they don't see where they are going to, then it becomes a problem. They should be able to have some sort of projection, because if you can have a Loretta from year 4, year 5, law school, being called to bar with me, and you know how these people are, that means there's obviously something that they can see. I also have a Janet too. Now, Janet's story is also funny. The way Janet joined us was, it was through persistence. Janet kept frustrating me. Every day Janet would send me a message. Just go. I was like, what? I just told Loretta, this babe is giving me issues. Let's just bring her on board and see what's up. And look at her today. And I tried every possible way to discourage her. The first thing I did, I gave her some books to read. I said, Janet, go and read all these books and come back. I gave her a timeline. Within the shortest possible time, she finished those books. She came. I gave her this. She came. She came. And since she joined, it has been a blessing. You see those videos you see and all of that. Most of them were made by her. And when we have conversations, she is almost like the younger version of Loretta. She doesn't like to talk, but not to worry. Janet, you are there, Abby. I know you are smiling wherever you are now. You understand? We're still going to bring you out. You see what Janet did, what Loretta did too. You would also do it. So last but not least, we're going to be. I'm bringing on Bolagun. They call him Bolagun. They call him Uthman. Uthman, unmute yourself now. I'm going to. I'm going to serve you breakfast now. So just let them see your face, not you and I. I'm not going to be the one that you're going to share screen with without even putting on your video. So I met Bolagun some years ago through a company and all of that, and so Bolagun's case is a classic case of a diamond. How do they say that thing? Is it a diamond in the rough or rough in the diamond?
Diamond
When
in the
you, yes, the diamond in the rough. When you just see someone and know that this person has a lot of potentials, but you just have to take the time out to scratch the surface to get it. Uthman and I, we are always fighting. See, for want of a better way to call it, sometimes I call him the problem child of whatever. Because you see, Uthman, Uthman is good when it comes to delivery, when it comes to giving life giving life to words. But there's some certain things that okay, fine, that we just need to just work on. But to the glory of God, at least we still have misunderstandings, though. But if we look at it on the ratio of maybe like 1 to 100, it's like maybe maybe once or twice a month, and he understands. And just like every other person too, he has also keyed into the vision. And one thing I must quickly say before Uthman speaks is that everybody needs an Uthman in the organization. I'm going to be very honest with you, because you see, we're in an era where everything is visual. You see, you need a graphic designer that can capture your thoughts, because you see, we are in a distracted society. People don't like to read anymore. You'll be surprised that it is not the post that they read, it is the graphic design that they see. That's what they see. Now, if there's one thing, and when I say everything is on auto cruise now, we have, you see, all details matter. Like for us now, our team color is gold. We have a particular font. We have a way we do our thing. So once we tell Uthman, okay, Uthman, we have this design to do, Uthman already has an idea of what to do, and just take time out and go back to our page and go and look at the general theme color is gold. So every organization needs an Uthman. I'm not putting it, yes, and I think he also has a package. So apart from working course. He also does freelance and all that. And that's one thing I also encourage too, because at the end of the day, in the era that we are in right now, there should be multiple streams of income. I don't say that, okay, fine, because Woodman is with us, he can't do any other thing. He has his own company and he's doing excellently well. Woodman too can run a successful practice from the beginning to the end. He's not a mediator. He knows he can manage a mediation space from in terms of what to do to give you content and all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present the whiskey of Fortefa. Bolagun, it's Olawale. Over to you. So you have 30 minutes to give us, then we'll take questions from there. I've hyped you now. Sure, you can see it, man. Oh, yeah.
All right. So I hope everybody can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bolagun Usman. You can call me Geo Design, and I'm a graphics expert. As a matter of fact, I studied graphics from the Federal University of Technology, Akure. So I studied graphics for 5 years, and I can confidently say that I have over 3 years professional experience when it comes to graphics, especially social media graphics. So I'll be harnessing the importance of design. Please, at any point, if you can't hear me, please just let me know. So I'll be harnessing the importance of design in every business. Then I would, in a way, break it down to mediation business, because that's what we are doing here. So, and I would start by doing some deliberate things just to illustrate one or two things. So now, look at, I am not sharing anything. You cannot see me. You cannot see my video. You cannot see me right now. You can only see my display picture on my page. You are probably seeing Mr. Fola now. So there is no, imagine that I'm going to be talking with you for another 30 minutes, just like this. Along the line, somehow, somewhere, you are going to get bored about it. So now, I am bringing back my video. You can see me. You can see my clothes. You can see the clothes I'm wearing, whether it is colorful, whether you like the color. Maybe purple is your best color. Automatically, I have attracted your attention. I have gotten your attention. You want to see me. Now, Mr. Fola, please, don't say anything yet. So now, I am putting on a cap. It is matching the clothes I am wearing. And maybe I add this. So looking at me or meeting me for the first time, like this, you cannot look down on me. And that is what design does to your business. Let me go back to my. So now, you cannot look down on me, because the first impression that you are getting is giving you a very good view. Somewhere, somehow, after seeing me, maybe after 2 or 3 hours, you still remember that you saw somebody on a purple shirt with a nice cap and a black shade. So now, let me go back fully into. I want you to understand first what design can do to you, not just your business, to your life. There is this popular saying that you are being addressed as you are dressed, if I'm correct. So until recently, many businesses and corporations have invested great amount of money into research, into development department and all. But now, a wise company or a wise businessman will know that marketing is business, and good marketing is good business. And what makes up a good marketing strategy is that design, that visuals that you put out to people. So I officially welcome you to my training session. Importance of design in a successful mediation business. So before we go on to, I want to state 5 importance that design would give to your mediation business. But I want us to try and I want to give us a kind of picture of what design really is. So design is one of the most important factors when building a brand. So when we say a brand is, it could be a business, it could be an individual, it could be an organization, maybe an NGO or something. So when building that brand, people say, I want to start up a business, and the first thing they think of is probably a business plan. And in that business plan, one thing that they have to do first is create a logo. That is design. Is to create a logo for your brand. Well, I would not want to say logo. I would rather say brand identity, because a lot of people don't understand what logo is supposed to be. So when I say brand identity, you kind of have an insight of what I'm trying to say. It is one thing that once they see your brand identity, they know that it is for Fola. Once they see your another brand identity, they know that, oh, this is for Mr. Oludari. You understand? So the very first thing when you're starting up a business is to create a brand identity for yourself. For Tefa Mediation Academy, for Tefa Partners, you all know our brand identity, from the color to the font and everything. We know our brand color is gold and white. Well, white and black is a universal color, so you don't necessarily call that a brand color. Every brand uses white and black, but gold. So when you say anything and you see gold, you know, especially in a law firm or in mediation, you already know that this particular color is peculiar to just for Tefa. And that is what brand identity does to your business. I want to cite 1 or 2 examples. If you look at Airtel, there is this round, unique shape that Airtel uses for all their adverts. Even in your dreams, if you see that round red circle or shape, you would know that it is for Airtel. And so many other companies like that. So design is one major thing that it is very, very important in your business. It is very, very important in your business. It is something that, especially in this century, in the 21st century, it is something that you cannot do without. From billboard advertisement to social media marketing and all those stuff, general digital marketing generally, you cannot do without design. And yes, I wanted to share how I started this design job. As a matter of fact, I wanted to study civil engineering, and I was just praying to God that, okay, God, I'm not sure. I don't know. I just like civil engineering. I don't know whether it is what is meant for me. I don't like reading books. That's my bad habit. I don't like reading books. So for somebody that doesn't like reading books and going to study civil engineering, I might end up with one worst result. But somehow, God gave me industrial design. I don't want to sound like an alpha or a pastor right now. So I got industrial design, and the first thing I did was to Google what industrial design was, and I saw it, and I took it. I majored in graphics, and I started making money from graphics since 200 level. So there were years where I was not yet professional. I was just doing it just to know, and I'm self-taught. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that I am able to get my strength. I am able to find out what my strength is. And my strength is that I don't like books. It could be a bad habit. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you, but I don't know whether the feedback is from your end or somewhere else. Okay, I think
No,
it's from Janet. Don't worry, I've muted her.
okay.
Sorry about that. Okay.
Yes, sir. So my bad habit is that I don't read books, but I made it my strength by rendering that service. Trying to read a whole lot of text and bringing it out as visuals. Because just like Mr. Fala has said, people don't want to read books anymore. People don't want to go through your Instagram page and see you write epistle. They would not read it. They just want to see somebody. They just want to see one visual. They want to see that short text and something else telling you what that text is about. So if you would agree with me, scrolling down Instagram, just checking around, you would notice that designs, good designs, let me be putting it that way, good designs catches attentions every time. You just scroll through and you see something, you go back, let me see what this is. And that is the work of design for your business. That is what a good design can do for your business. It will make people come back to your business, say, even if they don't need your service, even if they don't need your product for now, they just see, okay, there is Fortefa, there is Airtel, there is Glue. All these things are around. They are surrounded by good designs. They are being helped by what they put out to people to see about their design. So I'll be going through just 5 importance that good design would help your business gain. The things that good design will help your business gain. So the first thing is that good design makes a very strong first impression. A particular billboard catches your attention, it means that billboard has a good design. For that design, for that billboard to be able to catch your attention and you say, oh, let me see, looking at it at the back and say, okay, what is on that billboard? That's what good design will do. So good design is about using color, shapes, textures, space, forms, images, and content in an harmonious, balanced way. I am saying good design, not just anyhow design. Not just, oh, we put green on yellow, on white and red, and then we just put it out there. Good design cut across the that you use, your shape, the texture, the space, the forms, the images that you use, the content, which is like the number one thing that would actually create. You create content and then in return, it changes to visuals. So good design starts with a strong brand. A well-designed logo is an important part of the company's brand. And that is what I have said. That the first thing that you think of when you are starting up a business is usually your logo, or rather, I call it brand identity. So according to Adobe, everybody knows Adobe Illustrator, Adobe InDesign, Adobe Photoshop is a company that design softwares for we creatives generally. So according to Adobe, companies with a strong design outperform companies. They outperform companies with a weak design by 219%. 219%. Look at that huge difference. So imagine that Airtel does not have good branding. They don't have any design. They don't even have a logo. They're just hearing Airtel, probably on the radio or with podcasts without those visuals. They won't do well as much as Glue. And you would agree with me that one major thing that Glue is leveraging on, one big thing that keeps Glue, the whole Glue is bad, Glue is not a good network and all those things. They spend a lot of money on adverts. They spend a lot of money on their branding. They spend a lot of money on good design. They spend a lot of money on creatives. And that is why Glue has been able to, like, with all the criticism, with all the old lashing and everything, they still have one of the largest number of customers in Africa, or specifically in Nigeria. So it gives you a very strong Good design makes people have a very strong good impression about your business. Also, good design helps your business stand out. You know one particular thing about glue that it uses green. You know that Airtel uses red. You know that Fortify uses gold. You understand? You know that Mr. Fola is a blunt person. Maybe I should put it that way. That's his brand. Everybody knows Mr. Fola for that. And as far as I've been following Mr. Fola's status on WhatsApp, he doesn't do his jobs for free. He would say that for his wife to pay for his services, maybe at a discounted rate, yes. Who the hell are you not to pay for his services? That is Mr. Fola's branding. That is his brand. Everybody knows. So if tomorrow I need Mr. Fola's services, I already know at the back of my mind that Mr. Fola is not going to do it for free. Even if he's going to give me at the very discounted rate, he is not going to do it for free. And that is one thing that makes Mr. Fola stand out. And you know that you get the top notch, you get the best services from him. So if at this point, if you thought you had no competition, please think about it again. You have to have one thing that makes you stand out. And good design is a very good example of making your business stand out. Every company, no matter the industry, faces the hefty amount of competition. There's competition everywhere. Do you know how many lawyers graduate from law school every year? I don't know how large it is, but I can imagine from the pictures I see. For Mr. Fola to stand out in mediation, it means that he has been able to like push himself out and give people a particular impression about him with the designs that he puts out, both on his business on Forteva's page and his own personal page. So the third one, good design is the key to social media success. And I would like to be very explicit about this.
Okay, is it me or the fact that I've lost Meyakun, Abirada Bolagun?
It's not you, it's from him.
Okay. Yeah. But Bolagun, we can't hear you anymore. Utman, we can't hear you anymore. Utman, we can't hear you. If you can hear us. Okay, I think he's having a bit of a network problem from his end. Uh-oh, I think we've lost him. Okay, yeah, he's back. Okay,
Can you hear
Utman.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
So I want to take time to explain this particular point. I want to take time to explain this particular point because social media now, we don't even know, even we that we're experts with social media, we don't know what's next. We don't know how crazy it might become. Imagine the likes of Mr. Macaroni, then Brother Shaggy, MC Lively. In less than an hour, they have over 100,000 views. In less than 30 minutes, Tunde Ednut has over 100,000 views. That is how powerful social media can be. That is how powerful social media can push you out there. But you cannot go to social media and say, oh, you want to have social media presence, you want to let people know you on social media and not go there with good design. Clubs, Kayamata sellers, even the social workers. I don't want to call them names. Every aspect, every sector of business, they are trooping to social media to let people know because the audience there is very large. Is very large. So if you think just the website, the well-designed website is what you need, is all you need to succeed, then you have to have a rethink about it. As at this moment that I'm telling you, we don't know what social media is going to turn to tomorrow morning. In the next hour, we don't know what is happening. We don't know what can happen. So social media is like the platform for every business to become as successful as possible. So, and many of today's marketing efforts are done on social media platforms, whether Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any other platform. Even Pinterest uses every business come to this platform to advertise their business.
Uthman, you have maybe 5 minutes more to finish at the most. Are you almost done? So that we can take questions. Uthman, are you there? Okay, I think I've lost him. So let me just let's wait for him to just conclude without the slides. Then the slides can be shared. Uthman, you know what? I think there's something wrong. You know what? Can you conclude without the slides? I think every time you put on the slide, it always affects you. So please conclude without the slide and send the slide to the WhatsApp platform for people to follow through. Yeah. So how many more minutes do you think you can finish up? Because this
So
no, because the screen is frozen from your end.
And customer relationships is very important. Customer relationships builds is like the connection between your customer and your product. Whether we like it or not, there is a synergy. There is a relationship between your product and your customers. Say it could be personal relationships, it could be branding relationships. So people just fall in love. They just like that you're branding. For those that take alcohol, alcohols like Budweiser, that just they came and then they took the market by storm majorly because of their branding. People just like that branding. People just like that design. They just want to see what is this beer about? Let me taste it. I just like the look. And that is what good design can do for your branding. Then lastly, good design gives you money. It gives you money. And I believe that that's like the most important part of business, making money. I have pointed out that good design means good business. And hopefully you are beginning to understand that why that is true. Ultimately, good design increases your company's value, boosts your sales, and puts your business in a better financial situation. So through good design, you're able to build trust, make strong first impression, build customer relationship, and even execute successful campaigns. Good design helps make your business more profitable. Thank you very much.
Nice one. Thank you. So I hope you know this is the first of many more trainings. So you know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. So please. We're gonna take questions first from Precious. Then before I now ask you some. So Precious, could you please okay, we have Precious, we have Nanchang. We have 19 more minutes to go, so let's just try and manage the time. So Precious, could you please ask your question?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I tried to speak for this question because I needed to express myself. All right, so thank you so much for your teaching. So let me just go straight to my question. I wrote it down. Okay, so I want to really understand because I've taken some courses and I understand that there's personal branding for you as a person, and there's also branding for your business as a whole. So I want to ask, is it confusing to the public if you have a personal logo, font, and color that is different from that of your business? Let me use myself for example. I have my personal logo and I have my brand color, personal brand color, which is gold and black. But the one for my firm is royal blue and gold. So I just want to, because from what you have been teaching, I'm like, oh, am I sure I'm still on the right track? Is it confusing to the public, or is it okay to have different font, color, logo from for your personal branding and for your business brand? That's basically my question. I hope it's clear.
All right. Am I taking everything at once or one after the other?
No, if you can take it at once, please do, because of time.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I talk?
No, Nanchang, no. Let him take the questions first. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes. So just it depends. Anyways, if you have, you have one individual that have different businesses, they have 2 or 3 different businesses in different sectors. It is okay if they have different brand identity for those 3 different businesses. But if you as a person, you render a service as an individual, and you have another business that is different from the service that you render, you understand? You can brand yourself personally and then have that specific business branded also. But if, as a person, you are the face of that other brand, do you understand what I mean by the face of that other brand? If you are the face of your brand, of your business, then it is advisable that you have one brand identity for both of them. Thank you.
Okay, so let me, sorry. So what do I do now? Because I have been building my personal brand for like 3-4 years now online, and people have known me for that font, logo. So do I just change all of a sudden to my royal blue? Because I'm actually the face of the firm, and whatever content I'm creating is just to relate to the services we render at the law firm. So what would be your expert advice, or you want me to like have a one-on-one with you? I don't mind.
Well, there's always time to have a one-on-one discussion. But what I can only think of right now is just a rebranding. You can just totally rebrand even your own personal brand and make it the main identity for your business also.
Okay, so so Precious, you know what we're going to do? Let's take this question back end. I think I have an idea of what you're asking. So Uthman and I can actually have another conversation with you on this, if that's okay by you. So that we can give you a bit of more context to it. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, you're most welcome. So Nanchang.
Okay. My question is, can you all hear me, please?
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
My question is, what do I look out for in choosing colors for my brand?
Okay, sorry, before, okay.
Well,
Okay. Oh, no, hold on,
Yes.
Uthman, before you answer that question. You see, when it comes to things like this, I'll let him shed more light on it, because I also had that kind of issue too. It's always best when you engage a designer and ask and let him suggest colors to you. Trust me, you see, because the truth of the matter is, whether you like it or not, Nanchang, we are lawyers. You see, we cannot give what we don't have. So when you now want to now give yourself the additional stress of what you want to put on to get a color to you, it's totally outside the field. So for me, when it comes to issues like this, you would still answer you. I would suggest you push that burden on people like him and tell him, okay, fine, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. These are my favorite colors. This is what I intend to do. Can I be guided appropriately? You want to know why? Because they are out there. They know what will catch an attention. So when you now have to if you restrict them to say, okay, fine, I'm suggesting this color, trust me, you won't get the best out of them. Like somebody like him now, I don't tell him what to do. I just say, you know what, run with this. If it's not good, he cancels, he goes back. Run with this. Before we now finally came up with what it is we want to come, what we eventually came up with. But I don't know whether Utuma wants to shed more content, add more to what I've just said right now.
Yes, I'm just like I cannot tell the kind of way I want a legal agreement to go. I cannot tell that to a lawyer. Just the same way, you should just since you're hiring a professional, let him give you that professional advice. Okay, this is the kind of brand I want to build. This is our services. This is the product that we want to be putting out. So he will now go to his table and say, okay, I am recommending this color to you. I am recommending this and that to you. So leave it in the hands of the professionals. Thank you.
Okay, please. Maybe let me just finish up. So, I don't know. You studied industrial design for 5 years.
Yes.
Now, some of the people who are dealing over here and dealing with maybe some of the designers, they were just people who went to learn how to do this designing. So how do I actually get someone who will be available for me and then maybe possibly get a professional touch to what he's doing to serve me? I don't know if you get my question.
Yes, I do. Well, in the design industry, we have that we don't have anybody that regulates whether design is a good or bad design. So we have so many mushroom designers out there. If you go to Shomolu, you have plenty designers that will design for you for 500 naira. If you go to Mokola in Ibadan, you get the same thing. But aside from the fact that I studied design, you can also get people that didn't study design, that didn't go to school and study design as professionals also. But they must have learned from professionals too. You understand? So, for example, I am here. If I am going to be giving you a rate of, say, okay, a particular amount for one design, and you feel like it is outrageous, I am the one that knows how professional I am. I am only going to persuade you to try me, and so you know that, okay, you're going to get quality services from me. You understand? But getting a good designer is not something so difficult. We have so many professional designers like us out there, and from our works, it will speak for you. I cannot lie to you that I know how to design. I'm a good designer. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me see what you've done before. Then I'll give you pages I've handled before. I'll send you designs that I've done before, and from there you'll be able to see, okay, yes, this person is a good designer. This person is a professional. But a lot of clients wants to run away from paying good money for good design.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Utman, can you just give us a run through of how you come up with it? Just very quickly, when Loretta comes up with a concept and she gives to you, how do you come up with your designs, really? Just very quickly.
I ask questions anyways. I try to know
Okay.
what Loretta wants to achieve from that content. I try to know who the target audience are. And
Okay.
from there, I'll be able to get ideas. But generally, I ask questions a lot. What is the idea behind that content is before I go into the designing.
Okay now. So for those that might want to engage your services, Mayokun was gracious enough to give us some kind of bonanza. I told you to come up with a graphic design for this. I don't know why we didn't get that graphic design. Laura, didn't you communicate that bit to him about a bonanza of some sort? Anyway, we are where we are right now. For those here that might want to engage you for what you do for us, so how what are the charges really, or would you rather have a private conversation?
You said what, sir?
Would you rather have a private conversation with them?
No. It can go open anyways.
Okay.
For the purpose of this training, I came up with a discounted rate for members that is attending this training.
Okay.
You can have 20 graphic designs in a month. We have a package that you can have 20 graphic design in a month.
So that's 5 per week, right?
Yes, that is 5 per week.
Okay.
For 50,000 naira. for
Okay.
50,000 naira. So, but
What would have been the original price if it was not this bonanza?
it was for 60,000.
Okay.
It was for 60,000. So I gave a 10,000 naira discount for everybody that would like to engage us on through this training. So, and for people that don't want so much content, maybe you don't have the luxury of time of having of getting 5 designs in a week, we can give you you can have 12 designs. That's 3 per week. You can have 12 designs for 30,000.
Okay. So basically, what do you always need from them to come up with a design? Is it like a post or an engagement or something?
There's usually a rub mind section where we try and share ideas on what we want to do, what we're trying to achieve. So from there, we have content creators like Loretta and Janet that can simplify that idea, what we want to achieve. We are trying to, like, they can simplify it into few words. And since I already have the understanding of what we want to achieve, I'll be able to visualize it at the same time. So content designers are people that we try to, like, simplify whatever you want to do to the simplest, to the fewest number of words and text, so that we'll be able to visualize the remaining ones. So once we do that, we rub minds together, we share ideas. I have a better understanding of what you want. Then you give me the content, the simplified content, and then I'll change it to visuals.
And on a lighter note, it's not very important to make them understand that you're not a magician, so that when you start coming up with content, they don't think that in another 1 or 2 months money starts coming in. Because
Yes,
so
yes.
it's really very,
Let me
it's really very, very important to explain that contents just don't magically turn to money.
At all. Thank you very
So,
much for that. Thank you very much for that.
aha.
Because Mr. Fola was talking about investing $300 in one particular thing without getting any results. Mr. Fola Fortefa has consistently been investing in good design, in digital marketing for over 3 years. Over 3 years. And you can imagine how much he must have invested in that. So it is not a magic that you will type mediation in Nigeria to Google now, and I bet that the first 3 pictures that you would see Fortefa. Is not a joke. It no be beans. It's not something that happened overnight. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of financial commitment. Let me put it that way.
No, while you are talking, so they will know that when we make mouth, we make it well. You understand? Keep talking, so that they can see.
So,
go on. Can you see my screen? Nancha, can you see my screen?
You can just click on image. So
okay,
for
then
the
we'll go
fact
to
that
images.
we're able to, like, achieve this, it is not something that happened overnight. And for you, I must commend them, Loretta and Janet, and especially Mr. Fola, because as the brand owner, as the owner of that business, if you are not investing time in your own business, if you are not investing money in your own business, then you won't get any results. You understand? You will not get any results. So this is not something that happened overnight. It is something that we consistently have done for over 3 years. I think I joined Fortefa December 2018. Last month was my 3rd year working with Fortefa. So it has been a very, very, very fulfilling journey, because we've been consistently doing a lot of things. We've tried, we've failed, we've learned, and thank God we are now successful.
Yeah, thank you so much. Because you see, one thing about consistency, when it comes to consistency, really is the cheat code. You just have to keep on keeping on. We come up. I don't think since we started posting. You joined me. What year did you join me, Balagun? 2000 and what?
2018, December
2018. Okay, I started posting August 25, 2017, and I can confidently tell you that since August 25, 2017, we have been posting every day for 5 years, Monday to Friday. In fact, the funny thing there is, we've gotten to a point right now where even though our followership on Instagram does not translate to the amount of hard work that we put in there, but we've been able to learn a lot. Now we know that, okay, fine, Instagram might not exactly be where our strength may be. Yeah, we know that it is LinkedIn, but there was no way we would have found that out if we were not consistent in it. And now we've gotten to a point where we really can't be bothered anymore. We're just doing it. We're just doing it. So you see, you have to remain consistent at this thing and not just engage a Bolagun, engage a Loretta, engage a Diary, or even and think that in 1 or 2 months you would magically just come up with something. I kid you not. We just started reaping the benefits of mediation not too long ago. Yes, we just started the first 2 3 years, just putting in a lot of work, learning on the job and all of that, which is why I
You know,
keep
Mr.
saying
Fala,
every.
there was sorry to cut you. There was a particular time that I was worried about you. I don't think I've said this before because I cannot imagine that this person is investing so much and then he's not getting anything yet, and he keeps hammering. I respect that a lot, and even me, I was getting worried. Yeah, this man won't he go bankrupt? Is he not? Is he not balancing this thing he's investing? But thank God, we are seeing
I'm
the
telling
result
you,
now.
yes, we're seeing the results now. So you cannot imagine having to pay salaries to 5 people every day: 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. It's just that happening sometime in 2021. Just putting it in. So that's why most times when I remember I said this when I trained the first time that, look, given what I know now, I think I can set up a successful practice in less than 6 months. So and how you do one thing, I keep saying it, is how you do everything. Look at the number of people are in the group. Let's look at the number of people that are here. So at the end of the day, you don't just expect things to just magically happen. They just don't magically happen. So it's been 2 3 o'clock. It's been a very, very, very interesting session. Kudos to my lieutenants, Dare, Loretta, Bolagun, Mayor Kun. And the only reason why I brought them here is just for you to understand that, honestly speaking, you can't do this on your own. There is so much one person can do. I'll be very, very honest with you. You see, anything that is worth doing at all is worth doing well. You can't be the one to come up with the design, graphic designs. You can't be the one to come up with content. You cannot be the one to manage your page. You cannot be the one. How much can you do? Now, next week, when we're going to be talking about the business, I'm going to be telling you how you can have your tentacles in everything and then just get it. Just have your tentacles in everything and just get it right. So, you see, there is no magic about this thing. It is no, and especially where technology is concerned, it's more about smart work. Of course, there is hard work, but it's also more about smart work. It's also more about techniques. It's not a function of the fact that you are doing this, you are doing that. The question is, are you doing it right? Are you doing it right? Are you willing to give it what it takes? Are you willing? It's funny now when I get phone calls for training gigs and I get calls for media and I'm like, Fola, you will know. As in, you're the one actually saying and doing all of this. And one thing you can't take away from consistency is this: once you are consistent, look, there are no two ways about it. You become very good at it. Once you are disciplined, there are no two ways about it. You become very good at it. Once you are focused, once you have that vision, there are no two ways about it. You get it right. So it's been an interesting session. You've met everyone back end. You've seen what we do. So next week, Saturday, I think I have a training gig somewhere. So I will confirm with Loretta and get back to you. So we may start at about maybe 1. But you see, next week is like the season finale. So I am craving your indulgence for. I thought I could finish what I have in 3 hours. I doubt if I can finish it in 3 hours. So I'm craving your indulgence for 4 hours to just give you everything I have, pour out everything. We are going to look at them. Apart from even looking at the business of mediation, I'm going to be giving you tricks. I'm going to be giving you tips. WhatsApp. I'm going to be telling you how you can make good use of your WhatsApp, among so many other things. And like I said, this training is not a training to make you a mediator or a mediation advocate. This is a training for you to ask yourself that, look, all these things that Fola has said, look at what he has invested heavily into this. Is it something I can do? Am I willing to put in the energy? Am I willing to put in the time? Am I willing to put in the dedication and all of that? So that if in your mind of all minds you know that you can't, then maybe you may have to reconsider it, because at the end of the day, what's the point in paying for a training and they're not getting the best use out of it? That's the honest truth. So when I tell people to invest a token in my training, it's not because of the fact that we want to make, it's just for you to know, ask yourself, look, do I have what it takes to do all of this? So it's been interesting. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back maybe 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock next week. And this recording is on YouTube. So we've decided to give this training out to everyone free of charge. So you can tell everyone that knows someone to go to our Fortefa Mediation Academy on YouTube. Please click on the like button and then watch this. This is really all you need, to be honest with you. This is all you need to set up a successful practice. So till when we come your way next week, I wish you all a very happy weekend and God bless you all. And one more thing before you all go, the slides will be made available on the group. For those that have questions, I'm actually going into another training right now. I would also have a private conversation with Precious on branding and any other thing you need. So thank you all and enjoy it. And thumbs up. I'm proud of everyone. Thank you so much, Precious, Loretta, Dari, everyone. God bless you.
Thank
Bolagum,
you. Bye.
Bolagum, the problem child of Fortefa. Thank you.